Hey guys, it's me Bree and we're going to talk about something today. So as you can see, I'm in my white underbust corset today. I've only recently started seasoning it a few days ago. I want to say 3 days ago or so. I'll try to insert pictures of my first time lacing up when it was super duper loose and wild looking. We're on like day 3 or 4 now, so it's a little tiny bit tighter than it was. There's still a lot of room at the hips and a lot of room at the rib cage. And if you look at the back, you can see there's a nice gap. I don't even have the whole modesty panel covered just yet, but we are just seasoning it still. It takes at very least 2 weeks to do that, if not longer. But I've just been wearing it for an hour a day to get it used to my curves and then let it rest the rest of the time. So yes, I am excited to season this one. I think it's so cute. I'll get a little closer so you all can see, but it's hard to see with this lighting I have, sorry. But you can see this beautiful lace work on it. I love that. It's got these stripes down the sides that are just so beautifully done. And it's got like a floral pattern on this part in front. And I just love these clasps, like these little hook clasps. I think they're so interesting. I don't know, they're my favorite type of clasps, I think. Here's the back up close. Again, you can see it's very wide gapped, but we are just seasoning it. So I don't want to tighten it up too much to begin with and end up warping it wrong or breaking something. I want to let it have all the time it needs to melt my body. But that's not even the interesting part. So normally I wear my mesh corset every single day, but sometime last week I actually had to stop wearing it because I noticed a bit of a problem. So when I was wearing it once, I was looking at it, and in my most recent video of my first week try on that I have uploaded super late, you could see that the top and bottom seams on the front bust are pulling away on one side. So I decided at first I could just ignore that. It wasn't that big of a deal. And then I noticed it was also causing that kind of bump at my hip. Well, the other hip was flat, which was also interesting. But again, I chose, just ignore it. It's not that big of a deal. Well, after a while, I started noticing on the front bust where the waist tape connected to the bust, it was pulling. You could see a bend in the seams. And I got pictures, so if I figure it out, I'll put pictures somewhere. But it was weird, and I was looking close because something didn't look quite right. And I kind of looked at it every time I put it on. I would look at where it was pulling just to make sure nothing was getting worse and nothing was breaking. And this time I was looking, the waist tape looked kind of weird, and it did kind of feel off, and one side was a little less cinched than the other. So I took the corset off, and lo and behold, the waist tape on the corset had started to separate from the bust in the front. I actually have it here. Let's see if you guys can see it. So right here you can see how the waist tape has a big old hole in the, where's the camera? And the ends have just completely frayed on that. That's on the hook side of the bust. So I noticed that was happening while I was wearing it. I don't know if you can see the, let's see if you can see the stress. Even with it off, it might be hard because I don't have good lighting. But there's a lot of stress right around the waist tape on the bust too. I'll insert pictures. So that was only like, what, 3 weeks into having the corset, 2 or 3 weeks into having the corset, and I was seeing this kind of damage. So I was like, that's not good. So I was like, oh, that sucks. I figured it had something to do with the the pulling, the stress that was on the top and bottom, I'm thinking that the top and bottom were not secured right there. So I figure what had happened. I'm not a seamstress. I don't sew or anything like that. So this is all speculation. But I think what had happened was that since it was pulling, and that pulling was bending the fabric and the seams on either side of the bust out, that meant that the waist or the hip and the rib side were getting more slack than they needed, meaning that more tension was being put on the waist tape on that one side. Well, because there was more tension on the waist tape, it was causing the tape itself to rip. So the bump, the fold I was seeing in the back was because there was extra slack. So it could pull up instead of laying flat like it needed to. And it was putting extra tension on that waist tape, and it was pulling to the front, and it just couldn't handle it. So it ended up ripping. So I was pretty sad because this mesh corset is my absolute favorite. I figured that this was some kind of manufacturer's problem because I know that's not supposed to happen. That wasn't happening on my other corset. It's not happening on this one either. And I noticed it happening on the corset pretty early on, but this one's a lot sturdier. It doesn't even feel like that could possibly happen here. Like if you look, I'm like bending these. There's so little space. It won't move. But on this one, if you look at it, there's like a big old space, and they move so easy. And I don't know if I can pull it back. Oh yeah, look. You can just pull it back. That's what was happening. So I figured that was a problem in production. No big deal. I'm not blaming the company. I got all these from Corset Story. So I emailed their customer service, which was easy. It was so easy to find their customer service. I sent a very long, very detailed message with pictures and all the information I could possibly add, just because when I'm dealing with customer service, I love to be as detailed and as clear as possible. The next day after sending that email, I got an email back, and it was great. The email was like, so sorry that this happened. That corset that you have in the size is out of stock right now, unfortunately. But if you want to look on the website and find a replacement corset, just let us know that item number and we'll send you out a new corset. And I found another corset that actually should be here soon. I'll talk about that later. And I was trying to find a corset around the same price point. So this was originally a $155 corset, and I was looking for one around the same price point. But all the corsets of that price point in my size that I liked were gone. They didn't have my size in like any corset. And I did find one that I think was only like $5 or $10 more expensive than the one I currently have. That I liked and was in my size. Super cute. So I emailed them back. The next day I got 2 emails. I got a confirmation email and an email from customer support. Customer support just emailed me and said, hey, price difference is no problem. You should get a confirmation on that order soon. And I actually got the confirmation before the email from the customer service. And I just was amazed. Their customer service is great. It was very easy when I was returning my first set of corsets because they were too big. So I did the return and got the a smaller size in. That really I sent out those corsets, and I got the new ones a week later. It only took a week for them to ship out my original corsets. When I sent them back because they were too big for an exchange, my new ones were here within a week of that. This whole thing happened. I emailed them. It was maybe 3 days of emailing back and forth, and they sent out the corset. It shipped a couple days later, and I got a text message about it being delivered in like 2 days. So I just want to say that their customer service is amazing. They handled this so great. The lady that I talked to on their customer service was just so polite. And yes, I loved it. Also, I'm so excited for this new corset. The one that I ordered to come in. I've been, just like I did with the first 2 orders of corsets from them, I'm like checking my email and everything every day, trying to like, when's it gonna be here? When's it gonna be here? So I don't know if I want to wait till it gets here to upload this video or give it its own video. But I did want to get something on camera about how excited I am about that. Also, I did email them about if they wanted me to send back this the broken corset, my mesh corset that broke on me. She didn't say anything about shipping this one back. She just got the new one shipped to me and everything. So I assume they don't want this one back, which isn't bad. Like I said before, I'm not a seamstress, but I'm wondering if I could fix this. I think it's just a little too long here. So in my mind of someone who doesn't sew, I should be able to reinforce this area that holds the buskin so that that tension doesn't do that. There should be a way to reinforce it, as well as reattaching the waist tape or replacing it or something. But I'm thinking if I could find a way to just do those two things, reinforce the bust and reattach the waist tape, I'd still be able to wear this corset. And I do love this. I was kind of sad to see that it was out of stock because it's like my favorite corset. It's great for underneath clothes and it's so breathable because of the mesh. But maybe I can fix this one and make it work and not just, you know, trash it or whatever. But yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys today. If I don't get this video out before my new corset gets in, I'll give you guys an update about that one when it's here, if it's not at the end of this video. But yeah, that's all I got for you for now. Bye, guys. It's here. You guys, look, my corset is here. It came earlier than I thought in the day. For the last two times that my corsets came in, it was like afternoon when they came in. This one was already outside of the door. I'm so excited to try it on. It's actually my first time checking today, and it was already in. My washing machine's playing in the background, so I hope that's not too loud. But yes, I love unpackaging things. That's like my favorite part of getting things is unpackaging. This one's actually packaged differently, but look at how fancy. I figured I'd open this one on screen. I am wearing my white one. I put it on early this morning so I could get my training in before this one came in, and I have enough time to rest my body in between training this one and my new one, because I want to get this one seasoned, and I want to make this one my my new like everyday one. The mesh one was the one I was like wearing. So the mesh one was the one I was seasoning because I wanted to make that the one I wore every day. Because it was perfect for underclothes and everything. So this is now replacing that mesh one. So I want to get it trained as soon as possible, and I think my blue one is mostly trained. My astronomy club one is I think my astronomy corset is mostly trained already. But it is only a 2-inch reduction, so it doesn't need, I don't think, as much. But yeah, so this one did come differently because the other ones were not packaged in paper like this, and the plastic it was packed in wasn't as like sturdy as this one. But this one also came, oh, I was about to say, okay. So this one came, I took those papers off and it came like this. So these are cords. The cords were really pretty in there too. But I was like, why is it? I was like, oh no, it came unlaced. Like all their corsets are supposed to come laced, and the laces are here instead of in the corset. But then I removed that and it is laced. It's lace with actual lace, and this is just cording. So you can switch from the lace to the cording, which I might actually do. I haven't tried lacing up a corset yet. I don't know how to word that. You know what I mean, though, putting laces in a corset. I haven't tried that yet, but I'd prefer to have the cords in over the actual lace. Because look how pretty it is. And my astronomy one, the lace is already like showing a lot of wear from me pulling on it all the time. And I'd like to preserve these, but look at this cutie. This one is a PVC underbust corset. Look at how cute that is. It's just in this nice little like sexy shiny black fabric material. Material, I guess, is better. There are a little bit of almost like punctures right in here. This does seem like the kind of thing that you would see that a lot in. But also, this one is actually a 5-inch waist reduction, which I don't need. But I thought it was so cute, and me being overly obsessed with doing things, I was like, 5 inches? I want 5 inches off, knowing that I can't realistically reach that right now. But like, why not just have it? And I can still lace it up looser and everything. It's still in a 24-inch. Interestingly enough, their 4-inch and their 5-inch waist reduction corsets are the exact same sizing charts. So I think that's interesting, but I'm so excited to try this one out. It's so pretty. I might try to find a way to film me trying to put the cording in instead of the lace. But look how cute these cords come. I didn't know it was going to come with separate cording. It didn't say anything. If it did say it on the website, I just didn't see it. Let's say that. But there's nothing on here of it being a separate piece. So I'm excited because I do love the laces. But let me actually get my astronomy overbust to show you what I mean on the lace. Okay, so on this one, see how nice and flat it is and how it is on there. And then this one, which is super loose, I was wearing it yesterday, but you can see how wrinkly the lace is, and there's some parts that are still flat, but a lot of it has just been crinkled up from pulling on it where it takes all that stress. I don't know if there's a way to like revive it. Maybe I can iron it. I don't know. But yeah. And since this is a 5-inch waist reduction, it is considered an expert waist cincher, waist trainer, expert waist trainer on their website. So I don't want to hurt these laces by putting it on too tight or anything. I want to save this for wearing it over top clothes, not underneath. But yeah, I think I've had to have been in this at least an hour by now, maybe 2 actually. So I think I'm actually ready to take this one off, let my body rest for a couple of hours. Okay, I'm back, and I'm just gonna go ahead and unlace my new corset so I can put the cord on. So I just watched the video on Lucy's corsetry. I rewatched her video. I watched it before, and I think I got it. It looked pretty easy, but this is the one thing that's weird. So at the end though, this one, I probably should have watched till the end. Okay, no, never mind, I got it. Okay, cool. But I went and I just watched her video again just to make sure I kind of like knew what was happening, and I should. So this will probably be boring. I might fast forward through this or just talk. So hopefully I get all this done before I need to check in on Zoom for school. I'm just gonna be lacing this bad boy up. I really want to get to the point where I can wear them for like a few hours a day and be able to wear them while like in school and or working. Right now I don't work. Right now I'm in cosmetology school, but it's a lot of standing and, you know, working on other people, so it is a job that can be hard on your back. Also, you see I got it all in lace, so shiny. Never actually looked at the inside yet, but this is a size 24 just like my other ones. I was saying before that the sizing was weird on these because the 5-inch waist reductions are sized the exact same way as the 4-inch waist reductions. Anyway, so I'm in cosmetology school right now, and it's a lot of standing on your feet, and it can be really hard on your back. It's a lot of people do wear corsets for back support to help them sit up and help with their posture, and I've always had pretty good posture. My grandma used to tell me that if you sit and you slump your back, you're gonna get a like hunchback when you're an old lady. So it's just been like drilled into me to straighten my back. On top of that, I played violin all throughout middle school and high school. So like a lot of years. I don't know, almost a decade of being in an orchestra and playing. And there's certain posture you have to keep. It's just become natural now for me to sit up straight. So the first one on her video, the first X is hidden. No, on these corsets, the first X was hidden because it was looped on top. So in her video, she did it where you first insert them with the strings facing out, so your first X is on top. But every corset I've got from Corset Story has the loop on top, and the first X is on the inside. So I think I'm just gonna do it like the way it came. Sure that I think that was wrong. But I do lean on things a lot. That's my thing. I lean on one leg, or I'll lean against the table, and that's not a good habit, and that is a habit I need to get out of. And I have found that wearing corsets can kind of help with that, because if I'm leaning to one side and my hips are uneven, it is uncomfortable in the corset. But also I can at least feel the back support from the corset. It kind of helps hold you up and lifts you up a bit more, and it's just a bit more comfortable than standing without it. So it can help alleviate back pain and all that. So I figured it would be a good tool in the salon. Standing on your feet all day, it probably wouldn't hurt to have a corset on. I like this because it's black, it's easily hidden under clothes. That's why I like the mesh one as well. And I just want to have one that's a go-to for underneath my clothes. I'm almost done lacing it now. Now here's the part that kind of confuses me, because the way they get it is they get it to tie in the back, but the last loop was going to go on top. You would put this one in the bottom, and then you put the other one through the bottom, but that would make it where you tie it on top. So to tie it on bottom, you would take the one and put it on that last loop over here, and then the same exact one, the one that's coming out of that loop, you'd put it on the other loop also. And so now when you tie the ends, if I can find them, now I just need to deal with the slack. The thing is, so what happens on my overbust corset that I've been wearing, sometimes the knot will get, like it just did actually, so the knot will hit the hole, so you can't pull it anymore, so you're just pulling one side, and that's been causing my overbust one to like tilt. So like the bust will be here in the middle of my chest, and the other side will be over here, so it'll be like twisted, and I gotta like twist it right. It's because that knot is hitting a grommet, and so I can't tighten one side, so I'm only tightening one side of the corset, and it's pulling it weird. You're supposed to try and keep the knot in the middle of the back, so like right here. You want to keep it right here as you tighten it. That's easier said than done. I can get this done before the Zoom call, but I'm getting there. But that was actually pretty easy. I didn't think it'd be too hard, but I get confused easily sometimes. Sit with some lace. But yep, that was my thing saying it's time for my Zoom call. But let me show y'all this corset. Here we go. Bam. Perfect. Smells a little bit like Crayolas. But yeah, I'll be back. I might just lace it on off camera because what else am I supposed to babble about? I don't know. We'll see. I MacGyvered my iPad up so you guys can see me. Hopefully it doesn't fall. But I'm gonna get this corset on. I also got a shirt to put over it because I do have to walk my dogs. I have to go get my son from my mom in a couple of hours, or not in a couple of hours, in like 1 hour. So I figured I'd get this on, wear it for an hour, then I'd be able to take it off right before I have to leave. Latching the bust is always the hardest. Okay, there we go. So like the underbust area doesn't sit right under my bust. It's an inch or two low, and I'm trying to make sure I got the right spots. Oh wait, there's the waist tape. And I just do some bending overs. It seems like it's in the right spot. And this is it, not laced at all. And I'll just go ahead and lace it up. Just pull softly. So I just pull from the middle first just to get it a little bit snug there. Then I pull from the top. Everything I've seen said start at the top of the corset and work your way down. This is one of Lucy's videos about pulling your stomach fat up so it doesn't hang underneath your corset, but it sits inside. So sometimes I do that, just a little bit. I did it too much once, and it was like spilling out of the top of the corset, and it felt really weird. I had to adjust it so some of the fat went back down to the bottom instead of out the top. So I have to just like find it, how to evenly distribute it between the fat being on top of the corset and on the bottom. It just needs to be evenly distributed through the middle. Okay. Let's see. What the heck? Okay. Alright, there we go. Oh, wait. Going the wrong direction. I should have went up, not down. So by going down, I was going towards the knot in the corset. Actually, I need to go up with it. So, luckily there's less grommets going up. So I already have like the whole modesty panel covered. I was thinking a size 24 in a 5-inch waist reduction would fit a larger body than a size 24 and a 4-inch waist reduction. Wouldn't you then need like, because if you're at size 24 is like what you're going to. It's just interesting because none of the other ones had me cover the modesty panel all the way up. None of the other ones at the modesty panel covered up the first time I put it on. Maybe the modesty panel is just larger on this one or something. But if you look, there's still a huge gap at the top and bottom. I'm just hoping that there's still room to like cinch down. Should be about even all the way up. It looks even too. I don't know if you can tell. Well, the grommets make it a little easier to see it. So now I can go on with just a smidgen's extra tightness. And tie my bow. And there we go. This is my first time putting this on, and it is comfortable. It's got quite a bit of give in the hips and the ribs, which it should when you first put it on. So I put it on just tight enough to feel it in my waist, but not even like tight in my waist, if that makes sense. As I wear it, my body should get used to getting smaller and being squished in like that. And then the corset should kind of get to know my specific curves just a little bit better, and everything should fit a little better, and hopefully it won't take that long to lace it up later. But here's the back again with my arms down. And then here's the side. I like it because it's nice and smooth. The one thing I really didn't like about the mesh one was that the back felt so thick and clunky. Just because it was made from a thicker fabric than the sides were. So it just, in contrast, looked super like thick and clunky. And it is super cute and shiny. My only problem is how far lace I was able to get it. Like, that's pretty tight for the first time putting it on. My white underbust that I've been training recently, I only put that on for the first time this week, and I saw a big old gap in the back. So this is pretty tight for the first time. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.